Hello, welcome everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you know, we are doing grade 7 series, and in that we have started integers for SOF IMO. We have already covered the theory of grade 7 integers, and now we are doing questions on it. So this sheet is from the book that we are providing, obviously, and we have so many sheets of even on integers. There are so many questions you can get there, and this is one of the sheet from that book, and I'm doing some questions in order to give you the idea how to solve the questions. Obviously in the next class we'll be doing objective questions and the questions that are you can say that you can see in SOF IMO paper. So let me start with this question number 1. I'm doing question number 1 part A and C. So let's say it says find the value of the following. If you remember, in my theory part, I have already cleared you that whenever you are adding positive and negative numbers, you have to group them. So grouping negative numbers all together and grouping positive numbers all together will work. So let me group the negative numbers. So negative 20, negative 45, and positive numbers, which is 220 plus 47. Also, because they are just 4 numbers, it's very easy, but whenever you are doing so, you have to mark it, tick mark it, so that you will not miss any number. Now it's 220 plus 47, it's very easy, which is 267, plus, and this is minus 65, which can be written as 267 minus 65, which is 202. That's your answer for part A. For part B also I'm doing the same thing. That means grouping all negative numbers together and all positive numbers. So grouping negative numbers, negative 221, negative 321, negative 991, and positive numbers, which is 410 plus 621 and 220. And also see that there are 6 numbers and I have written all the 6 numbers. Let me just add all the positive numbers together, and that will give me 1251. And let me add all the negative numbers together, and we'll do the same thing at the very end. We'll subtract them together. So this will give me minus 1533. Obviously, if you are adding one positive number and one negative number, you have to subtract them. So similarly, I'm subtracting here. Only the difference is the sign will be of the bigger number. So just first thing is, if you have a positive number and a negative number, subtract it. So on subtracting, I'll get 282, and then I have to use the sign of the bigger number, which is minus 282. Moving on to the question number 2. Now that we do one question from question number 2, let me do part D of this one. I'm doing the same thing, grouping all the negative numbers and all positive numbers together. So grouping like this: minus 1, 1, 1, 1, minus 1, 1, and 1, 1, 1 plus 1. So all the negative numbers and all the positive numbers. So negative numbers are, if I add them, will give me minus 1122, and this will give me 112. And one is positive, one is negative, so I just have to subtract them. So that will give me 1010, and obviously I'll use the sign of the bigger number, that is this one. Question 3 says we have to find the additive inverse of the following. So additive inverse of the following, that means, I have already explained you, additive inverse, that means what number should I add so that my number will become 0. In the given number, whatever the number I'll add, my answer should be 0. So clearly for minus 3, I should add plus 3. That will make it 0. Or in other words, I can say additive inverse is just reverse the sign, just opposite the sign. So negative number will remain exactly the same. Negative will become positive, positive will become negative. So in this case, negative 3 will become positive 3, and negative 17 will become positive 17. Moving on to the question number 4. Find two integers such that, and let me do part B and C, and this type of questions I have already explained you when I was doing the theory. So we have to think of two numbers. Their sum is 7 and difference is 3. So sum is 7, difference is 3. For smaller number, always opt this method. Start with 0 and then add 1, 1, 1. I mean, just increase the integers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is actually applicable for the smaller numbers only, this method. So if I want to find the another number, so it has to be 7 here. So 0 and 7 will make 7. Then this will be 6, this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So in this way, you can see all the combinations have sum 7. The difference is 3. So I just have to subtract and see which one is giving me the difference 3. So this is 7 minus 0, 7. This is 5. This is 3. This is 1. Now these pairs are again repeating themselves. So just don't consider them. So which one is giving me the difference 3? Obviously 2 and 5. So 5 and 2, 2 and 5. These two are the combinations which will give me the difference as word difference. That means it's obvious that bigger minus smaller they are asking. Simple. Now the next is part C. The product is -6 and sum is -1. So for 6, it's very easy because there are only few combinations of the number that will give us product 6. First is 1, 6. Second is 2, 3. That's it. There are no other combinations. For the integers, that will give me 6 as the product again as integer, like both the numbers should be integers. These are the combination. Because the product is negative, and if you have studied the rules properly, you know that the product of two numbers is negative only if one of them is negative, not both. One has to be. But now the question is, we have to think which number have to be a negative in this case, which one we have to make negative. So for that we have to look for the sum. The sum is -1. That means the rule says if you are adding a positive and a negative number, obviously you have to subtract them and the result will take the sign of the bigger number. So if your final sum is -1, that means the bigger number is negative. Let me make the bigger number negative, bigger number negative. 1 minus 6 is -5 and 2 minus 3 is -1. That means clearly the combination is 2 and -3. Now, let me do question number 5. The temperature of a glass is 40 degrees Celsius. Every minute, its temperature is decreasing by 2 degrees Celsius. What will be its temperature after 5 minutes? So there is a glass at 40 degrees Celsius. And its temperature is decreasing by 2 degrees every minute. That means, let's say after 1 minute, temperature has decreased by 2, will give me 38. Then after 2 minutes, again the temperature will decrease by 2 and will become 36. After 3 minutes, it will become 34. After 4 minutes, it will become 32. And after 5 minutes, this will become 30. So after 5 minutes, temperature will be 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. And also, simple, what you can do, every minute it's decreasing by 2 and in 5 minutes it will be 2 into 5. That means will decrease by 10 degrees. So 40 minus 10 will give me 30. Moving on to question number 6. Temperature of 5 metallic bars. These are the big blocks of the bars, metallic bars. Temperature of 5 metallic bars is given as following. The temperature for bar 1 is 30, bar 2 is 40, bar 3 is -10, bar 4 is -20 and bar 5 is 30 degrees Celsius. If the temperature of the bar 1 decreases by 5, bar 2 decreases by 10, bar 4 decreases by 30 and the temperature of bar 3 and 5 remains the same, then find the temperature between the old temperature and the new temperature. Find the difference between the old and new temperature. So let me see, this is old temperature and it says find the difference between old temperature, sum of, basically it's old temperature. That means they're asking sum of all the temperature. And if I'll add these temperature, what I'll do, I'll just write them up, all the positive, 30 plus 40 plus 30 and negative number, -10 and -20. So from here I'll add, and that will give me 100 minus 70. This is 100 and this is 30, that is 70. So their sum is 70 degrees. Now, new temperature. For the new temperature, it says if the temperature of bar 1 decreases by 5, bar 2 decreases by 10. So bar 1 decreases by 5, that means this will become 25 degrees. Bar 2 increases by 10, that means this will become 50 degrees. And bar 4 increases by 30, that means this will become 10. Minus 10, 20 plus 30 will become 10. And they'll remain as it is. So again, doing the same thing, grouping them all together, it will be 25 plus 50 plus 10 plus 30 and minus 10. So this will give me 90 from here, 90 and plus 25, that is 115 minus 10, that is 105. Now it says find the difference between the old temperature and the new temperature. Difference always has to be in a positive. That means whenever you read the word difference, that it's an obvious that you have to subtract smaller from the bigger one. So it would be 105 minus 70. That will give me 35 degrees, and that's the difference in temperature. Now let me do this question number 10. It says a shopkeeper made a profit of 45 on Monday but had a loss of 125 on Tuesday, a profit of 78 on Wednesday, and a loss of 90 on Thursday. What was the net gain or loss after 4 days? So I'm just making two different columns for profit and loss. This column will help you in getting a better clarity. So profit Monday was 45, then on Tuesday it was a loss of 125, then on Wednesday the profit of 78, and then a loss of 90. Now it's very easy to add them. It's the same thing we are doing. That means grouping all the positive and negative. Profit is your positive and your loss is your negative. So this will become 123. So there is a profit of 123 and loss is basically 215. So clearly you can see that he has spared the heavy loss as compared to the profit. And now we have to find the net gain or loss. Obviously loss is more and profit is less. So it's loss and it's profit. So we just have to add them up, or in this case I'll get to know obviously net, that means we just have to if we are using the negative sign it's fine, else we just have to subtract it. So ultimately that will give me minus 92. So he has suffered a loss of minus 215 but a profit of 123. So together it will be minus 92. That means he suffered a loss of 92. So the net loss after 4 days is 92 rupees of loss. So minus here indicates that he is in loss. Now let me do this question number 11. For question number 11, remember that we just have to go in a reverse order. This can be done by algebra as well, but that algebra we will be doing later in the later chapters. As of now, let me tell you that because the question is about there is a number, we don't know the value of that number, and we are doing such operations, and after doing all the operations, answer is this. So what we have to do, we know the final result. So always go in a reverse order. We know the final 100 value and then we have to go in reverse to reach to the initial value, and that will give us the number. But we have to do the reverse of everything, which means if it's written the number is decrease, so just if I am going in reverse order, it will be the increase one. Let me show you. The number is 100. It says divided by, just next sentence, divided by negative 10. That means I have to multiply it with negative 10. Then next is multiplied by negative 20. That means do the opposite, divide by minus 20. Then decrease by 50. That means increase by 50. So this will give me minus plus 50 plus 50. That means 100. So the original number was also the 100. Moving on to our last question, which is question number 15. If a student gets 3 marks on solving answer correctly and -1 on solving it wrong, if he attempted 40 questions and solved 30 correct, then find the total marks obtained by the student. So I'm just making two columns. This is the marks he obtained, and here I'm writing the marks he lost. So in total he attempted overall 40 questions, and in that he actually done 30 correct. That means he obtained for 30 marks, and obviously for the correct one he obtained 3 marks. So he obtained 90 marks, but he lost some marks where he actually did 10 questions wrong. So he did 10 questions wrong, and each one cost him -1. So it's -10. So he gained 90 but lost -10. So final is 80. So the total marks he gained was 80. So that's it for today. And in the book that we are providing for SOF IMO, you will find more sheets. I think only this book is more than enough, and the videos that I'm providing more than enough to crack and get good marks in your SOF IMO. So that's it for today, guys. Everyone, take care. Bye.